Okay, in terms of the roll call, everybody who was supposed to be here is here. We also have Mr. Vince Tranguch, our jack of all trades, joining us this evening. There are no agenda modifications. Under announcements and presentations, an executive session was held after the September 5th, 2024 meeting to discuss land acquisition and personnel. Item 6, hearings and approvals. 6.1, ordinance 2024-02, update of the liquid fuels map. Mr. Beidle.
Thank you, commissioners. As discussed at the workshop, it's necessary that we look to update our liquid fuels map with the state whenever we make additions or deletions. You have before you consideration for an ordinance that updates this map, and we will see Sauerkraut Lane of 0.4 mile length, as well as the compost center 0.21 for a total to be added to the map of 0.61 miles.
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, Madam Mrs. Flexer, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Higgins,
Aye.
Commissioner Robert,
Aye.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Commissioner Bight.
Aye. Okay. 6.2, ordinance 2024-03, update of chapter 20, solid waste. Mr. Beidle.
Thank you. This defines CART and the responsibility of using the CART as provided by the township for solid waste collection, as well as placement of the containers, and just reaffirms with our language of the necessity of the resident to use the township trash service.
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, Mrs. Flexer, please call the roll.
Aye.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Commissioner Beitler,
Aye.
Commissioner Higgins.
Aye. 6.3, consideration to authorize advertisement of an ordinance appointing solicitor and approving fees for the collection of delinquent real estate taxes and municipal claims.
Thank you. The next three, I'll just try to give a general explanation of the next three, as they are they're linked together with this item 6.3. And as we talked at the workshop, the township currently has a debt collector for delinquent sewer and trash bills. We're looking to move to a different collection type system with a law firm called Portnoy Legal. As part of that collection, they're able to collect both the sewer and trash delinquencies. They're able to collect real estate delinquent taxes, which currently the county collects, as well as property maintenance type remediation costs. So you have before you an ordinance which would, or the advertising of an ordinance which would set their rates and allow them to collect the tax component, including all of those items for collection, as well as an actual agreement with Portnoy Law Associates to engage with the township, and lays out the structure and require minimum number of accounts in term, which has been reviewed by the solicitor's office. And then the third item, if the township and the board can chooses to elect to have the Portnoy Group collect delinquent real estate taxes, it's necessary that you consider a resolution directing the Tax Claim Bureau not to collect the delinquent real estate tax and allow our agent to do that. I want to just clarify at the workshop, and I misspoke because I didn't have the right information. Currently, the township delinquent real estates are, around $10,000. It's not a significant number. I didn't realize that the county charges a fee of 5% to collect those outstanding items. I didn't believe that they charged us anything. And I informed the board that they did not. However, having Portnoy be able to do that, we would not be charged the 5%, as well as they would pass through all of the money. Their collection would be through their process with their letters, and procedures where they would, you know, have those, collections on their end, to take care of that cost. So I wanted to clarify that part. The other question that we had from the board, you know, what is the cost that we pay now as opposed to, what's the potential cost, for a new firm? The current collector puts, a service charge onto the account, and that's how we currently pay them. There is no out-of-pocket cost. The Portnoy contract does require, a $40 notice of delinquent account, which the township would pay up front. They would then recoup that as part of the ongoing process. So the township would see those dollars, in the resolution stage. However, you know, we have around, 120 accounts that we have delinquent. Plus there's a potential for another 75 normally on the year. So we would think and project an out-of-pocket upfront of about $8,600, which, staff and I would still recommend is, not significant compared to the amounts that we would be collecting. So just wanted to clarify the three items, make sure that I corrected what I told the board and the public previously.
Move to approve item 6.3.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 6.4, consideration of agreement with Portnoy Law Associates for collection of delinquent real estate taxes and municipal claims.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And 6.5, Resolution 2024-44, directing Lehigh County Tax Claim Bureau not to collect delinquent real estate taxes for Lower Macungie Township.
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Are there commissioner comments or questions? Public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No, resolution.
Not only, sorry, my bad.
Okay, item 7, public comment on non-agenda topics. Julie, Vince? No? Okay. There is no communication for the board this evening. I'm sorry, Stan, Vince is over there. I know you don't look alike. Don't ask me why I just did that. Vince, I apologize. I don't want you.
Vince is the one with the long hair.
Yeah. Item 9, appointments to various boards, committees, and commissions. There aren't any this evening. Approval of minutes from previous meetings, September 5th, 2024.
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of transfers, bill list, and payroll. Mr. Beidle.
Thank you. We have the following for your consideration this evening. The general fund, $213,099.44. The solid waste fund, $3,262.50. The sewer fund, $2,150.14. The capital projects fund, $58,025.90. The open space fund, $1,526. The liquid fuels fund, $462,311.63. The payroll, $161,761.65. Developer escrow, $201,091.01. For a total of all funds, $1,103,228.27.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. As always, you can view our entire bill list on our website. Departmental matters, 12.1 engineering. Engineer McAdam.
Thank you, Mr. President. Couple of different items tonight. One is pretty simple, escrow release number 1 for Mountain View Estates for the irrigation system. We're recommending a release of $2,544.79.
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve Resolution 2024-45, security release to Mountain View Estates for irrigation system. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Resolution 2024-46, security release and project closeout for the Mack Truck Parking Area Expansion Project LMT 14-055. Mr. McAdam.
Yes, thank you. This one and as well as the next are identical in process. So without belaboring it, I'll try to do a quick synopsis of what's going on. There are three open Mac land development projects on their campus. Two of them are older, and Mac is looking to close out all of them. The third is for a parking lot that there are a couple of straggly items to complete. The two items on the agenda tonight are to close out and release all of the escrow funds for those first two, I'll call them older projects, and basically get those done. The other one will wrap up shortly and then be able to close out all of them. So this is unusual only in that because it's Mac with tons of money, they did not ask for any previous escrow releases. So these were kind of weird in that they were untouched from when they were originally approved and the funding was set up. So we are recommending release of all of the funds for each of these two for items for project 14055 and 15057.
Move to approve resolution 2024-46.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 2024-47. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, anything else, Mr. McAdam?
Not for tonight, thank you.
Okay. Any questions for the engineer? Okay. Planning, Mr. Tringuch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a few items. Currently, we have plans that were being reviewed by staff and CKS that have been submitted. Tentatively, we have multiple items on the agenda for the October Planning Commission meeting. Hamilton Square conditional use. It's a coordinated commercial development. It's allowed by conditional use in the Westcottsville Commercial District, so they'll be in front of the Planning Commission. Spring Creek 2022 modification. This plan was recorded last year. It is Steinway, Danner Road. There are two townhome buildings on each lot. They are coming in to add a third townhouse on one of the lots. That's currently under review and should be on the agenda. Bethany United Methodist Church on Brookside Road at 1207 North Brookside. They are parking lot and building addition. 1470 Brookside Road is a 9-lot residential subdivision that will access the development through the existing Harvest Fields neighborhood. So those are the 4 items that tentatively right now are on the agenda. Next Tuesday, we have zoning hearing board. There are 3 items on the agenda. One is seeking relief for a fence in the 100-year floodplain. Second is Lower Macungie Township. The township is seeking relief for the lighting at the pickleball courts on the height, exceed the 20-foot height. And then the last item is at 4444 East Texas Road. It is already a existing non-conforming use that was granted in the late 90s for 3 apartments. They'd like to add 2 more, so they are coming in front of the zoning hearing board to seek that relief. And that is all I have, unless there are any questions.
Any questions for Vince? Okay. Item 12.3, Solicitor Brewman.
Well, Vince stole most of my thunder, but probably did a better job than I did. I was going to talk about the lighting, but you already carried it. I think you'll notice that there's an uptick in development applications. There's an uptick in construction. Things are getting back to where they were 2 years ago. Slowly but surely. And the only other thing I have to report is that it does appear like the Jandals are going to move forward with the town center. I have gotten all the agreements over to them and they're under review. So hopefully we can wrap that up by the end of next week and get them all recorded. That's it.
Okay, any questions for the solicitor? Okay, Township Manager, Mr. Vital.
Just remind the public and the board of our budget workshops, October 21st and 28th. If we need an additional, November 4th. We're working to finish the drafting of the budget. We should have that to the board fairly soon. We'll meet our time frame. And then I would just need an executive to talk personnel and some land acquisition. So if the board's available this evening, like to have that discussion. Unless there's any questions for me, that's all I have this evening.
Any questions for the manager? Okay, moving on. Item 13, other business. Is there any old business to discuss this evening? Any new business? Item 14, Board of Commissioner reports. The next board workshop is September 23rd, 2024 at 6 p.m. The next board regular meeting is October 3rd, 2024 at 6 p.m. And our budget workshops are scheduled for October 21st and October 28th, and if needed, November 4th at 6 p.m. There will be a short executive session following this meeting to discuss possible land acquisition and personnel. And with that, we are adjourned.